Hi, and welcome to this month's nutrition lecture brought to you by DOSREC in New Braunfels, where we will be discussing the power of plants when it comes to prevention. Please comment below of this video. Let me know where you're tuning in from today and leave any comments or questions you might have as we go. Even though you're watching the recording today, I will be sure to come back and say hello and answer any inquiries. And I will have some questions for you too, so please participate. That would be great. So my name is Jackie Williams. I am an Air Force wife, mom to 3 boys, and I work as a sports nutrition coach and a personal trainer. I've been in the industry for 15 years, and I have a passion for educating people who value their health on the power of nutrition and the importance of living a healthy lifestyle. So before we get started, I'd love to ask you a question, and please, again, pop this in the comments for me, but how do you define health? Is it more about what you don't have in terms of disease or ailments, or is it about a whole quality of life? Of course, both matter, but how do you find yourself defining health? I tend to err with the World Health Organization's definition of health in my coaching practice and in my own life. I believe health and wellness should always be approached as a whole, not just merely the absence of disease, but the complete physical, mental, and social well-being of our lives. But let's be real, for most Americans, dis-ease is a very real problem. And for many people, it hinders not just their physical well-being, but mental and social as well. Not only do we want to live long lives as free of disease as possible, but we want to live full, vibrant lives with energy to do the things we love with the people we love. So today, I want to address the reality of what we're up against when it comes to our health as a nation. And then I will share some simple nutritional recommendations that will leave you empowered to make some changes in your own diet that can start to affect your health overall today. So let's take a look at these staggering numbers. This is what we are living with in terms of our health in America. 80% of people are dealing with a chronic disease. So chances are that one of these statistics directly affects you or someone you love. Tell me in the comments, which of these concerns you the most? Or maybe you have other health concerns of your own. You know, with numbers as high as these are, disease has become so common, we can start to feel helpless against it. And I would go as far as to say we've started to see a normalization of dis-ease. We just kind of live with it, right? But what if we could fight against it? Science shows that our genes often only account for 10 to 20% of our risk at most. Does that number surprise you? You know, disease tends to run in families in part because diets run in families. And some would argue that these numbers are higher because we're just living longer, but we aren't. When it comes to life expectancy, Americans have one of the shortest life expectancies, ranking 27 or 28 out of the top 34 democratic countries. A recent study by the New England Journal of Medicine concluded that, quote, "The steady rise in life expectancy observed in the modern era may soon come to an end, and the youth of today may on average live less healthy and possibly even shorter lives than their parents." That's unsettling to me as a mom of 3, as are the rest of these statistics, to be quite honest. Part of my personal mission is to help families live healthier lives with healthier diets. According to the Journal of American Medical Association, our diet is the #1 cause of premature death and the #1 cause of disability. But there is hope. And what I'm here to share with you today is that 75% of all disease is preventable with lifestyle. And eating healthier which is defined as consuming more fruits and veggies and whole grains and less meat and processed foods, is one of the most important factors that we can affect our health with today. So today we will be focusing on diet, particularly the standard American diet. I want you to stop before we move forward and consider your own diet for a minute. Honestly, how would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10? That pandemic of chronic disease, those statistics I described, in part, they're due to this shift toward a diet dominated by animal-sourced and processed foods. In other words, meat and dairy and eggs, oils and sodas and sugar and refined grains. According to estimates from the US Department of Agriculture, 32% of our total calories come from animal foods. 57% come from processed foods, and only 11% come from whole grains, beans, fruits, vegetables, and nuts. This means on a scale of 1 to 10, the standard American diet would rate about a 1. How would your diet rate? There's no right or wrong answers. If you feel like putting it in the comments, I'm sure you're not alone, and there's always room for improvement. So one of the simplest ways we can shift our diets back towards health and prevention and move that number up the scale is to incorporate more fruits and veggies. Simple. We know their advantage for our health, yet most people are not getting enough. It's been estimated that only 1 in 10 of us are eating the recommended number of servings of fruits and vegetables each day. But there is a unifying diet. There's one thing that is found to best prevent and possibly even treat many of those chronic diseases we face as a nation, and it's a whole food, plant-based diet. One that encourages consumption of unrefined plant foods and discourages overeating of meats and dairy products, eggs, and processed foods. And I don't know about you, but it's empowering to me to know that we have the power to prevent those staggering statistics for us, and more importantly, for our children. We have the power to take control of our health with the power of plants. So let's dive in and take a closer look at what plant nutrition can do for us and why it is so important. So as you know, many plants are low-calorie foods full of water that keep us hydrated and fiber, which is amazing for our health. It balances our blood sugar, aids in proper digestion, and it offers a prebiotic, which feeds the good gut bacteria in our guts that is vital to our overall health. But plants also offer the most unique nutrients found on Earth. Thousands and thousands of phytonutrients that are found in plants are designed to help our bodies be healthier on a cellular level. And this is not to be confused for, the 25 to 35 isolated vitamins that you might think of when you think of nutrients, or that you find in your supplementations, which is a topic I address in another video. And if you ever want any more information about that, please feel free to message me privately. Because sometimes if we can't meet our needs with our diet, that is definitely a real solution. But only real whole foods offer the variety of nutrients that we really need in the most bioavailable, absorbable form for our bodies to use. That's why it's recommended that we get 9 to 13 servings of fruits and veggies per day. And this number is actually higher for those of you who may already be struggling with some chronic disease, or if you're an athlete challenging your body daily. I just want to quickly note that this number has continued to rise as the rate of disease has, as our bodies are coming up against more and more toxins and free radicals and stress and lack of sleep, coupled with the fact that our food supply, the quality has continually declined, to include many of the fruits and veggies that we're eating already. The nutritional content of today's produce is a fraction of what it used to be. So serving sizes or recommendations have gone up. But today I want to give you the top 10 list of the foods that you should be getting in today and every day. These top plant food groups are something, if you include in your diet at any amount, is a great place to start. Simply check off each of these 10 every day, and you can start to improve your health and affect your preventative purposes. So I've included the 6 colors of plants, as you see here: green, yellow, orange, red, purple, white, as well as some really other beneficial plants like beans, nuts and seeds, whole grains, and herbs and spices. So our goal is to check off each of these categories every single day. And we're going to start there. And I'm going to go through each of these and why they're so important. First, I want to talk about the color that our plants offer us. Some of the greatest compounds for your health are found in nature, thanks to the potent phytonutrients and antioxidants found in the colors of our food. Vegetables and fruits use their color to signal which of the most beneficial substances they contain. It's pretty cool, actually. In general, the more color you eat when it comes to plants, the more anti-inflammatory and detoxifying and healing compounds you'll get. Some of these colors, they even work together synergistically to have an even more powerful effect, which is why you should eat a diverse array of fruits and vegetables every day. You should eat the rainbow. To put in the simplest terms, plants are good for us thanks to the plant nutrients, or the phytonutrients, which are chemicals produced by plants that have antioxidant and anti-inflammatory benefits. They work to combat the inflammation and oxidative stress that is at the root of all disease. Now, I'm not going to get too technical on you today, but first I just want to give you my list, my run through of what are some of the most important colors. If you take a look here, these are just some of the chemicals found in plants and their corresponding colors. Again, you can see there are many benefits from getting a variety of colors. Unfortunately, according to data from the National Health and Nutrition Examination surveys, 8 out of 10 people in the US are falling short in virtually every color category of phytonutrients. So let's be honest again, how do you think you're doing when it comes to eating lots of rich colors in your diet every day? Are you eating the rainbow? Are your kids? Again, I'm not going to get into the specifics here, but you can see from this list that what matters is that you are getting a wide variety of colorful plant nutrients and that they'll have a wide variety of health benefits. So let's start with one of the most important, which is going to be green. This is my #1 recommendation to improve your health with your diet by adding in the power of plants, is add in more green. Because eating more greens every day may be one of the most powerful things you can do to prolong your life and prevent disease. Of all the food groups analyzed by a team of researchers at Harvard University, greens turned out to be associated with the strongest protection against many chronic diseases, including about a 20% reduction in both heart attacks and strokes for every additional daily serving. So add in green veggies like asparagus and broccoli, green beans, things that are rich in this green color get their pigment from chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is responsible for that dark leafy green. Paired with a little sun, this actually regenerates that powerful antioxidant you've probably heard of, coenzyme Q10, and helps with energy production. This is an enzyme that is used on a cellular level by every cell, and it's stored in the mitochondria, which is your energy makers. So think of your heart and your brain and your liver, which contain the most mitochondria because they require the most energy. If you power them with green, you can start to affect your health right away. You can lower blood pressure, improve heart function, reduce your risk for cardiovascular disease, improve your vision and your skin health, and even offer some cancer protection. Now, specifically, the cruciferous green veggies, those dark leafy greens like broccoli and cabbage and kale and Brussels sprouts, they contain a really special compound called sulforaphane. which has been shown to be especially helpful for prevention of certain types of cancer. They protect your brain, your eyesight, boost liver detox, and even prevent DNA damage. So my recommendation is to add more greens in daily with a salad at lunch or dinner, or you can throw in a handful of spinach or kale into your smoothies. I promise you, you won't even notice it if it's flavored well enough. Okay, so moving on, number 2 on our list, we're going to move down that rainbow, are yellow fruits and vegetables like lemons and bananas and pineapples, star fruit, squashes, yellow peppers, corn. They all get their yellow color from carotenoids like beta carotene, which you've probably heard of. It helps the body convert to vitamin A. And it's an antioxidant that supports healthy skin and eyes, immune system function, and can even inhibit cancer growth. So I love to squeeze lemon in my water daily or over some broccoli. It actually will help kind of cut that bitterness and add in some extra antioxidants. And one of the cool things that we can see in real life, the powerful effect of antioxidants, is if you cut an apple and you add on a squeeze of lemon, it prevents that apple from turning brown or oxidizing from the oxygen, the free radicals, the oxidative stress, attacking that freshly cut apple. Those antioxidants in the lemon do that. And the same process is happening in our body. When we're adding in fruit and veggie antioxidants, we can very effectively combat the free radicals that are created from living life and breathing oxygen. So antioxidants are very important, very high in our yellows, as well as our oranges. Oranges also still have carotenoids, which provide that orange color in, vegetables like carrots and sweet potatoes or pumpkin, and fruits like pineapples and mangoes and bell peppers. And these fruits and vegetables are so good for our immune system function, not just because of that vitamin C, but also because it has all of those other wide variety of phytonutrients that we saw on that original list. So add in more orange to support your immune system function, to help reduce your risk of eye-related and age-related degeneration. And it's easy. You can easily grab an orange or a citrus fruit or a handful of baby carrots as a simple snack on the go. It's easy to add in these colors once you start to really think about it. Number 4 on our color spectrum is our reds. And red fruits and vegetables are still getting that color from carotenoids. One of them in the reds is going to be lycopene, which many of you have probably heard of. It's amazing for certain cancer prevention and protecting against prostate cancers especially, but it is also really great for protection against heart attacks, improves our circulatory system, especially cherries. You might have heard of using tart cherry juice for workout recovery, really great option. But I love just having apples or strawberries or grapes, raspberries and watermelon on hand as easy go-to snacks that are delicious too. So definitely recommend just having snacks on hand for your kiddos to help them start to choose those first, offer them first. And another tip for getting more red into your diet is using cooked tomato products like canned tomatoes or tomato juice, pasta sauce. All of those are really still beneficial and a great way to add more red into your diet. Blues and purples are probably one of the most powerful forms of antioxidants from a powerful compound called anthocyanins, which is believed to protect us from heart disease and blood clots and reduce our risk of stroke. But it's also really amazing for cognitive function and brain health, and has actually been shown to improve cognitive function in both children and adults, while also decreasing age-associated memory loss, which is amazing. So add in foods with deep purple and blue hues like berries and grapes and plums, eggplants or figs, purple cabbage. They're all loaded with these really powerful antioxidants. They're also especially anti-inflammatory and are amazing for any inflammatory chronic conditions that you might be having. Increase your berry consumption. Also amazing for skin health as well. So I love, just having berries again on the go is a quick and easy snack to eat on the go really quickly. But that's when they're in season. Am I right? Because if they're out of season, they tend to be a little bit more pricey. So when they're in season, definitely eat them fresh when you can. But when they aren't, simply grab frozen ones and pop them in your smoothies or in your oatmeal or your cereal or your yogurt for breakfast, or even in your desserts. So you can still get the blues and the purples in daily. The last on our color list is whites. There tends to be an emphasis for fruit and vegetable intake to choose the deep, rich colors, which, are signaling a lot of really powerful compounds, which is true. But that does not mean that foods like mushrooms and onions and garlic should be ignored simply because they're not quite as bright. The truth is these items are really helpful in supporting our immune system and our lymph health. So great for immune system support. Add in some garlic or some mushrooms or some onions to your dinners. That's an easy add, and it doesn't have to be a lot. They are also very powerful in effectively reducing blood pressure and cholesterol at the same time. So this can also have an effect on your cardiovascular disease risk, as well as protecting against certain types of cancers. So I love, again, just adding these into my dinners in a typical rotation every single day. Okay, so a little bit more specifics on the recommended servings. So you'll see those first 6 plants on my top 10 list are fruits and veggies, and our goal is to eat the rainbow each and every day. A closer look at the recommendation serving sizes here for fruits is 4 to 8 a day. So you are trying to get 4 to 8 servings a day. It can be a piece of fruit the size of your fist, like an orange or an apple, or it can be a handful of berries, which is about a 1/4 cup. That can be fresh or frozen or canned. Or if you're choosing fresh fruit juices, about a 1/4 cup is a great way to go. So I love to just keep fruit stocked in my drawer of my fridge for my kids. They are their go-to snacks. And I want to encourage you to do the same. That's an easy way to get that 4 to 8 servings in every single day, and trying to keep that variety and eat the rainbow at the same time. So for veggies, the recommendation is a little bit higher, closer to 5 to 8 servings of vegetables is what's recommended. So I make it a habit to try and offer veggies first as a part of our meals. So either as a salad or maybe cut up as an appetizer with a yummy dip for the kids. Get them while they're hungry, and that's an easy way to increase their servings per day. So veggie servings are going to be closer to a cup for raw or leafy greens, and 1/2 cup or about the size of your fist for fresh or canned or frozen, and about 1/2 cup if you're doing the fresh juice. So again, you are trying to eat a wide variety of color of vegetables as well. And I will be including some more tips of how to get in that 5 to 10 servings a day towards the end. I know it seems like a lot. So if you can try at least one of every color, that's a great place to start. And some of the comforting things I like to tell families is it's okay if your kids hate veggies. Just be sure to offer them fruits and know that they're still getting a lot of those beneficial compounds from fruits too. And kids are much more, willing to eat their fruits, and that's totally fine. As long as they're getting in that rainbow, fruits or veggies, it's great. Also, a quick note here, if you want to download a free plant-based cookbook, you can do that on my website at jackiewilliams.com/freebies, and I'll have that link towards the end. That's a great way to just try some new recipes that are more plant-based. And it's totally free to download. Okay, so moving on, number 7 on my top 10 list are nuts and seeds. The benefits of nuts and seeds are vast, and the global burden of disease study calculated that not eating enough nuts and seeds was the 3rd leading dietary risk factor for death and disability in the world, more than processed meat consumption, which is significant. So nuts and seeds are full of heart and brain and skin health promoting essential fatty acids, good fats, healthy fats. I know we've kind of been scared away from fats over the years, but really your body on every cell needs good, healthy, essential fatty acids, and nuts and seeds are a great way to get those safely. So you can't go wrong with just about any variety, to include nut or seed butters as well. But walnuts do seem to be the healthiest nut option. They have the highest antioxidant and omega-3 levels. They beat out other nuts in vitro studies in suppressing cancer growth, which is cool. But even peanut butter, which isn't truly a nut, but a legume, has found to have some really significant health benefits. So any way you can get nuts and seeds in every single day, definitely do. And for those of you with peanut or tree nut allergies, seeds and seed butters may be a safe alternative. Obviously, that's going to be an individual choice, but seeds have found to have some of the same benefits as nuts. So I do want to make a quick note of one of the most healthy seeds is going to be the flaxseed. These are especially effective for those concerned about high blood pressure or breast cancer or prostate cancer. Flax seeds can easily be added to your smoothies or sprinkled on your oatmeal or even your salads. Just be sure the seeds are ground up first, but that's a really easy way to get some nut and seed nutrition in. So they are a great snack. I love to just have a handful on the go with a piece of fruit. That's a great option. It's about a quarter cup a day, and it can actually have a huge impact on your health and your life expectancy. So that's an easy add. Includes nut or seed butters, which also pair well with fruits or veggies. I love almond butter on apples or peanut butter on celery, and a serving is just a tablespoon. So that's an easy add for you and the kiddos. Another quick tip is you can actually use nuts as a key ingredient in soups and sauces to thicken them. You just blend them up and add it in to help it thicken up, but it's a great way to just add in some healthy fats to your meals at the same time. Okay, number 8 on our list are beans. Beans are a great source of plant-based protein and carbohydrates, and they are loaded with fiber. Most of us are not getting enough fiber in our diets, and adding in beans is a great way to do that. It's recommended about 25 grams minimum per day. So that's an easy fix. They're also loaded with folate and iron and zinc and potassium, among other nutrients, but very nutrient dense. I love beans as a healthy swap for any animal protein in a variety of meals like chilies or tacos or salads or dips. I love hummus dip or even snacking on edamame. That's a great way to just increase your bean intake, which are really amazing for your health. So a serving of beans, it doesn't take a lot to get a good serving of beans. It's about a cup of fresh peas or lentils. It's only about a quarter cup of a bean or a hummus dip and a quarter cup of cooked beans. So there's a lot of delicious meals that you, again, can use featuring beans. And there's several in that cookbook on my website, jackiewilliams.com/freebies. It's just a free download. There's several with good beans alternatives in there. Okay, next on our top 10 list is whole grains. So a study in 2015 found that those that ate more whole grains did tend to live significantly longer lives, independent of any other dietary and lifestyle factor, which I find very interesting because we've also kind of gotten a little bit afraid of eating our grains, our carbohydrates, but they really are beneficial to our health if you choose them wisely. Whole grains are shown to reduce the risk of heart disease, of type 2 diabetes, of obesity, and stroke. So if you have been avoiding your whole grains out of fear of carbohydrates or maybe gluten, that's okay. So while gluten, it may actually be a concern for some people, but whole grains in and of themselves can offer tremendous protection from inflammation. So it's just a matter of knowing your body and seeing if that is something that you are sensitive to, and then choosing gluten-free. And as you know, inflammation is the root of all disease. So any way that we can bring down inflammation in our bodies is a very important preventative step. So for some people, gluten is going to cause inflammation, and you should definitely stay gluten-free. For others, just getting additional whole grains in can actually be a way to break down inflammation. So that's definitely something you'll have to kind of try and see what works best for you. So when choosing whole grains, definitely the less processed or refined, the better. There is a big difference when it comes to nutrient density and health benefits. So choose whole wheat instead of white bread or pastas, brown rice instead of white rice. Those are still good choices. And not only are you going to get, that nutritional benefit, but it's also amazing for regulating your blood sugar. So you're not having, blood sugar spikes from those refined grains. Anytime that you can get foods closer to their whole state, the better. So typically a serving of whole grains would be a cup of cereal or oatmeal, a single slice of bread, or half a cup of grains or pasta or rice or corn. And a tip here, if you are cautious or you're kind of tracking your carbohydrate intake, especially if you tend to have those blood sugar spikes, is to follow what is called the 5-1 rule. So you'll check the nutrition facts label for the ratio of grams of carbohydrates to grams of dietary fiber. And you want it to be 5-1. So for every 5 grams of carbohydrates, you are getting 1 gram of fiber. And that's just a little bonus tip. Fiber, again, is really important for our overall health and preventative purposes. And we're trying to aim for about 25 grams a day. So whole grains is another great way to do that. Okay, number 10. Number 10 are herbs and spices. Herbs and spices make food taste better, and they also make food better for you. Herbs and spices have been used for generations and generations for medicinal purposes, which is an entirely different lecture, but they also carry a list of preventative and protective benefits. So most herbs and spices are full of antioxidants like cuminol, thymol, gingerol, etc. The more intense the color, just like our fruits and vegetables, or the flavor, the more intense the health benefits. So that's a great way to choose. So for example, curcumin, which is the pigment in the spice turmeric that gives it that bright yellow color, that is amazing for our health. And it's actually one of the spices that's been studied in over 50 clinical trials over the years against a variety of diseases. And it's been shown to play a role in preventing or treating things like lung disease and brain disease and a variety of cancers. Turmeric is especially great for inflammation. So if you're trying to combat any inflammatory conditions like arthritis or lupus, among others, adding turmeric in, just about 1/4 teaspoon a day is a great way to do that. So I do suggest, just keeping a well-stocked spice cabinet and making it a habit to add herbs and spices to your meals as much as possible. And if you did want to add in something like turmeric daily, about 1/4 teaspoon is all you need. It's an easy way to boost the nutrient content of your meals that you're already eating. So that's my top 10 list of plants that you can and should add to your diet today. Again, you're trying to check 10 a day at least, and then add in those additional servings of fruits and veggies as you can. So doing so is going to support your health and offer some protection and prevention, and every little bit matters. Obviously, this is not entirely a comprehensive list, but it's a great place to start. So here are a couple other tips. Definitely consider when you're choosing your foods that you're trying to eat the rainbow. We tend to kind of stick to our normal routine, always just having the same fruits or veggies. I want to encourage you to try something new, especially as you're trying to eat the rainbow. And don't forget, you can download my free cookbook, and there's some really great recipes in there you can try. But simple swaps, simple ways to add in more fruits and veggies are You know, eating a salad a day. Again, before a meal, add a salad, whether it's at lunch or at dinner. It's really an easy way to sneak in several extra servings at once. I always suggest smoothies as well. Smoothies are another way you can mix it up and add in several fruits and veggies. You can even add in your seeds and your nuts or your nut butters too. And sometimes I'll even put, you know, a little bit of oatmeal in there. So you can really add it all in, and especially for kids, that's a great way to increase your servings every day. Again, I love squeezing my own fresh juices, and I use several fruits and veggies through a juicer if you have one. Don't worry if you don't, and try not to go, you know, try not to replace the serving sizes or the serving recommendations that you should be getting daily with juice. You do want to be eating your fruits and veggies as much as possible, especially any, you know, concentrated or processed juices. That is another way to increase your nutrient intake if you can do it fresh. Of course, you know, when possible, you're trying to pick your plants in season and organic when possible. And when not, frozen is fine. Frozen or canned is still a great option and definitely goes a long way to get your fruit and your veggies and all of those plant nutrients in. So I'd love to know in the comments below if you have any tips for how you get your plants in your diet every day. I'd love to see those, and I will certainly be checking those and going back and answering any questions if you happen to have any. Please leave those for me. You can also go check out my blog. I have some additional nutrient recommendations on there and other recipes and things like that. So some of the questions I get typically are centered around supplementation and what to eat more specifically based on your goals. And while I don't have time to do that, obviously today, I would love to go back and answer those questions, and feel free to send me a private message if you have anything, you know, more pressing that you'd like to know. You can reach out to me absolutely anytime. I do have certain recommendations, and I'm happy to share those with you privately. So thanks again, you guys, for tuning in. I would love to connect with you online. Anytime. You can find me at Jackie Williams Wellness right here on Facebook. You can follow my page there, or you can check out my website or the services that I offer for nutrition coaching, and again, some of my blog and the free resources. So go to jackiewilliams.com/freebies. You can download a plant-based healthy living cookbook that is absolutely free. You just download it there. Tons of recipes for you. So thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Please stay tuned here every month. DOSREC is, you know, bringing upcoming lectures on health and nutrition topics that you can definitely learn more about how to live your best healthy life. And comment below, let me know that you tuned in today, and I will catch you next time.